we will focus on the Chinese Communist Party's, or CCP's, intentional cover-up. The CCP's underreporting and delays of information has caused the current worldwide pandemic. For this reason, we call it the CCP virus. Beginning on November 17, 2019, a 55-year-old person is infected, according to government documents cited in a report by the South China Morning Post, released on March 20th. A Chinese doctor tells the BBC that patient 0 appeared on December 1st, a bedridden man in his 70s. He has no connection with the Huanan seafood market. However, CCP officials and World Health Organization reports say the first patient appeared on December 8th, 1 week later than this. Reports from medical journal The Lancet say evidence appeared in mid-December of human-to-human transmission. The same study suggested an origin outside of the seafood market. December 27th. While Chinese authorities deny the existence of the disease, a Chinese lab sequences most of the virus genome, but keeps the findings to internal government bodies. December 30th. Information is actively restricted when doctors discuss the disease with colleagues on a Chinese chat app. Their hospital reprimands them, saying that discussing the disease was spreading rumors. Later, the Wuhan Health Commission threatens health workers with penalties if they spread information about the infection. December 31st. The CCP distorts the severity of the disease when the Wuhan Health Commission says the new disease is preventable and controllable. Chinese leader Xi Jinping makes a New Year's speech, but he does not mention the disease. State media focuses all attention on the Huanan seafood market, portraying it as ground zero. This may have been an attempt to divert attention from the real source of the outbreak. January 1st, 2020. Officials closed the Huanan seafood market as state media continues to claim it is the epicenter. The censorship expands when a Hubei Provincial Health Commission official tells a gene sequencing company to stop testing samples and to destroy all existing samples. Further, Wuhan police reprimand 8 medical workers for rumor mongering. The workers shared information about the virus online. January 2nd. A government-run virology lab obtains the full CCP virus genome. However, they do not make this information public for 1 week. January 3rd. CCP censorship becomes national when the National Health Commission orders researchers to either hand over virus samples to pathogen detection agencies or destroy them. January 7th. Xi Jinping gets involved in the response by issuing the first containment order. However, the order is not made public until February. January 11th. Over 1 week after obtaining the virus genome sequence, Chinese health authorities share it with the WHO. January 14th. Chinese authorities claim to have found no clear evidence of human-to-human transmission. The WHO begins parroting all official CCP statements. January 15th. Chinese authorities change their claim to a low probability of human-to-human transmission. January 18th. With no apparent concern for infection of the public, Wuhan officials hold a large annual potluck banquet for 40,000 families. January 20th. China confirms human-to-human transmission. Xi Jinping publicly acknowledges the disease for the first time. At the same time, the CCP orders diplomats to carry out a disinformation campaign on Western social media, displacing blame and suggesting the virus came from outside of China. Nearly 2 months into the campaign, on March 12th, a foreign ministry spokesman suggests the virus came from the US Army. January 23rd, Wuhan begins a lockdown. However, about 5 million people had left the city without being tested. A March study estimates 86%, the vast majority, of all infections in Wuhan were undocumented prior to the lockdown. January 24th. Hubei locks down all 13 cities, restricting travel for a total of 56 million people. January 27th. The mayor of Wuhan concedes that disclosures were delayed. However, he skirts responsibility and blames the central government bureaucracy for the delays. By January 31st, more than 3,000 health workers have been infected in Hubei. Yet, to maintain the cover-up, this information is not made public until over 1 month later. February 3rd, state media begins a propaganda blitz, claiming a successful response to the CCP virus and lying to the world about China's real situation. February 4th, the WHO urges for no travel bans. February 5th, Xi Jinping makes his first public appearance since the outbreak. His words suggest a cover-up when he says he knew of the outbreak before issuing warnings. February 6th, a Chinese spokeswoman criticizes countries for banning travelers from China by ignoring the WHO's recommendation. By February 7th, China has refused a team of US health experts for over a month, denying public assistance and hiding the situation inside its borders. February 12th, top provincial and municipal CCP leaders are fired after a surge in new cases, tarnishing the image of a successful response. March 10th, Xi Jinping visits Wuhan for the first time since the outbreak began, portraying an effective response. March 11th, after over 100 days of Chinese officials knowing about the disease, the WHO declares a global pandemic. The responsibility for the pandemic sits clearly on the CCP's shoulders. Now it's up to the rest of the world to respond.